Hello and welcome to High Caliber TV, your source for figure and model updates every Wednesday and Friday. Today I'm going to be taking a look at some really cool big scale figures from Alpine Miniatures. The first is a US Marine Corps sniper in Afghanistan. He's geared up for mid-war fighting, so anything I'd consider before 2006-2007, because he's just wearing an interceptor vest with an M67 grenade, M9 in his thigh, some spare mags, and a massive Barrett 50 cal. I've personally built this figure, and I can tell you that he fits together really well. He also looks amazing when he's completed. He's got a really cool pose, and that's one of the great things I love about Alpine Miniatures. They're one of my favorite manufacturers. Whether it's Mr. Harms or one of the sculptors he contracts to do his figures, they always get a lot of character in their sculpts. You can take a few liberties with the paint scheme on this guy as well, which is another thing I like about him. I was thinking about doing a woodland pattern on his interceptor vest, like representing a replacement or surplus equipment as if his old interceptor was shot up or burned. And you can also do a really cool tiger stripe camouflage pattern on his sniper rifle. You see a lot of photos of snipers in Afghanistan or in Iraq spraying Duracoat on their rifles to camouflage them because it's just such a massive weapon that it has to be camouflaged itself. The second figure is a really famous pose of the SS officer Kurt Meyer in 41. His greatcoat has a ton of character, and he's carrying a Kar 98 in his left hand, which is an odd choice of weapons for an SS officer of his rank. But I'm pretty sure that the design behind this figure is based on an actual photograph, and so he may have traded down for a more basic weapon so that he wasn't singled out by Russian snipers in the field. All of his ranks and medals are really well realized, from his Iron Cross at his collar, his Death's Head mark on his cap, and the epaulets on his shoulders. They all look really cool. But my favorite part of this figure, the best detail I think, is his scarf, because it allows you to personalize what would otherwise be a predominantly field gray uniform and make it your own. I was thinking maybe a Burberry design that he could have purchased in London pre-war or stolen at some point. The final figure today is the 1/16 scale DAK Grenadier, or German Afrika Korps Grenadier. He's one of the only figures that Alpine Miniatures does in 1/16 scale who's in full battle rattle. He's got all of his marching order gear on. And I really like the DAK uniforms. They almost look like they're World War I with the riding boots and the flared trousers. They really stand out. He's got a Kar 98 that's the grenade launching variant, so it's got a left side mounted trajectory sight and the weird looking cup on the muzzle that allows him to fire the grenades. His equipment, he's got the two massive grenade pouches on his chest. On his back, he's got a lot of character. There's the usual stuff that you always see on German soldiers. He's got a mess tin, a gas mask tin, the tube with his smock attached to it. He's also got two canteens because it's the desert, a entrenching tool with the bayonet mounted on the front, and a really funny looking box. I couldn't find a reference for this box, so if you know what it is, please leave a comment down below. I decided to do an all Alpine show today because we've got the latest Alpine figures. They'll be here early April. And speaking of new arrivals, we have the latest figures from Bravo 6, the indigenous MACV SOG troopers, some other MACV guys, the second set, and the M60 team are all going to be here. We expect them to be here next week, so they'll be featured in Figure Friday. So stay tuned for that. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Pinterest, and Facebook. And as always, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.